Three friends went on an exploratory dive at the Plura Cave. It was a beautiful location for diving, but once you dive deeper, it can get dangerous. On their way back, one of the divers got tangled in a rope at 200 feet, and panic started to kick in. It was a race against time to preserve their air. But would the entangled diver be rescued before time was up? Pluragrotta, situated in Rana, a municipality in the Norwegian county of Nordland, is considered the deepest cave in northern Europe, a fact that distinguishes it from most of the 200 caves in Rana, which are not suitable for diving. The passages of Pluragrotta were formed over millions of years by the flow of the Plura River over limestone, resulting in an intricate system of underground tunnels, chambers, and galleries that have captivated divers and cavers alike. In addition, the cave system includes impressive marble formations that add to the natural beauty of the cave. However, diving in the cave can be dangerous, and multiple injuries and fatalities have occurred over the years. The process of exploration within this cave is filled with obstacles and difficulties that make it challenging even for the most seasoned divers as they navigate their way through the complex network of narrow underwater passages in the frigid waters. Furthermore, the risk of getting lost in the side passages further complicates the process of exploration. For those who are adventurous enough to take on the challenge, the journey to reach the head pool involves a strenuous vertical climb of more than 330 feet through a dry cave, which requires a great deal of physical endurance. The climb is certainly not for the faint-hearted, and only those with the requisite experience and skill are likely to make it to the top. Despite the challenges that await explorers within this cave, the allure of its clear and translucent waters is undeniable, with visibility in the cave's waters considered to be exceedingly good, allowing divers to see up to 66 feet ahead of them. It is therefore no surprise that the cave has become a popular attraction for divers from across the globe. The added attraction of this cave is its accessibility in all seasons, making it possible for visitors to explore it year-round. This is a significant advantage, as it means that divers and explorers do not need to wait for specific weather conditions to take on the challenges that the cave presents. Kate Thompson is a fascinating 40-year-old production manager from Valkeakoski. Although she was raised in the Epping Forest District in Essex, Kate's love for adventure had taken her across different parts of the world. Her interest in cave diving began when she was a teenager, and since then, her passion for the activity has only grown stronger with time. Kate's introduction to the world of cave diving came from a television program that documented an exploratory dive. The experience left a lasting impression on her, and she was immediately drawn to the excitement and thrill that come with cave diving. Kate studied at Aston University, where she joined both the caving and diving clubs. Initially, she began as a self-taught diver, but her determination and hard work eventually led her to become a professionally trained cave diver. She met her boyfriend, Andrew Rantanen, on one of her dives. Together, Kate and Andrew share an unbridled passion for cave diving. Their shared experiences and love for adventure have bonded them ever since they met. The couple enjoys exploring different caves around the world and uncovering the mysteries that lie within. After embarking on an exciting journey that spanned 15 hours, Kate, along with her boyfriend Andrew and their good friend Davis Radvilas, were able to travel through the breathtaking Scandinavian countries of Finland, Sweden, and Norway. During their long road trip, they found themselves casually discussing their shared passion for diving, which eventually led Andrew to inform the rest of the group about the incredible Plura Cave, situated in the heart of Norway's majestic country. Excited by the cave and the opportunity to visit the area, the trio eagerly decided to include the cave in their itinerary. Since this was not a pre-planned expedition, they realized they needed to purchase additional supplies to complement their diving gear and make a dive plan. Consequently, they decided to buy underwater scooters, numerous large diving cylinders, and various small pieces of equipment. They also rented a chainsaw to cut a hole in the ice at the entrance of the cave. Finally, they arrived at the Jordbro farm in Rana, a captivating municipality in the Norwegian county of Nordland, precisely at 6 o'clock in the morning. The Plura Cave was located in this very location, and the group was beyond thrilled to embark on this once-in-a-lifetime adventure. In the early morning of March 2, 2012, as they approached the start of the cave, they went over their dive plan again. The plan was to enter the water in the Plura Pond area, dive into the cave and reach the deepest part of the cave, and return to the surface at the same spot they entered the cave. After going through the diving plan, they started to cut holes in the ice at the entrance of the cave and take on their equipment. The beginning of the dive was simple. First, they entered the waters of the Plura Pond, which were around 37 degrees Fahrenheit, and then they started to swim underground until they reached the cave's entrance. This location was well known for its breathtaking beauty, making it a popular spot for recreational divers seeking a one-of-a-kind experience. After they entered the cave's entrance, they started to use their newly bought underwater scooters to hasten their movement and conserve their energy. They all used closed-circuit rebreathers to recycle their exhaled oxygen, which helped to extend their diving time by conserving their oxygen. As they were experienced cave divers, they took on the challenge to explore the deeper parts of the cave, navigating through narrow channels that were pitch black and filled with ice-cold water. They dived on peacefully while using their scooters and were amazed by the stunning views of the cave. After 2.5 hours, they reached the deepest part of the cave, which is around 426 feet. For a moment, they released the underwater scooters and took a look at the beauty of the cave. After 5 minutes, they prepared themselves to get back to the pond where they entered the cave. They reattached their underwater scooters and started their return. Davis was leading the group, with Andrew right behind him and Kate behind Andrew. On their way back, at a depth of around 200 feet, Andrew suddenly realized that Kate was no longer behind him. He immediately notified Davis, and they swiftly dived back a bit. After some minutes, they luckily saw a diving light waving up and down. Although they didn't know what was going on with Kate, they realized she was in great distress. When they came close to Kate, she was in great panic. As they examined Kate's condition, it became painfully clear that she was badly tangled and in need of professional assistance. To get Kate the help she so urgently required, Andrew instructed Davis to swim out of the water as quickly as possible and alert the local authorities. Meanwhile, Kate was struggling to free herself from the tangled cords, leaving the trio fraught with worry and anxiety. As Andrew desperately attempted to keep Kate calm amidst the chaos, he swiftly reached for a cylinder of gas in an attempt to minimize her exposure to carbon dioxide. However, as Kate attempted to change her mouthpiece, she suddenly began to involuntarily swallow water, causing her to cough and sputter uncontrollably. At this point, Andrew's fear began to mount, and he could do little more than watch helplessly as Kate gasped and choked, struggling for every breath. Although he tried valiantly to assist her in donning the mouthpiece, he found himself shaking uncontrollably as the gravity of the situation became all too clear. Despite his best efforts, he was forced to bear witness as the life slowly and tragically drained from his girlfriend's body, leaving her to breathe her last rites before his very eyes. As Andrew's trembling hands reached out to try and free the lifeless body, he felt his heart pounding in his chest and his mind racing with thoughts of panic and desperation. Despite his best and utmost efforts, he found himself unable to release Kate's body from the entanglement, causing him to feel even more shaken and disheartened than before. With a heavy heart and a limited supply of gas, Andrew was forced to make the difficult decision to continue his ascent, leaving Kate's body behind. The delay caused him to ultimately prolong his decompression stops. Despite the heartbreak, Andrew tried to stay focused so as not to lose his way. He persevered with steadfast determination, pushing himself to reach the surface safely and with his mind intact. As Andrew ascended out of the waters, his heart heavy with grief and his mind numb with shock, he was met with Davis. He had made it out several hours before him and called the local authorities. Davis had been waiting for the local authorities to arrive. However, as fate would have it, the divers who were to carry out the rescue were not close to the scene, and so it took several hours for them to arrive on the scene. But Andrew found himself breaking down in tears as he delivered the devastating news to the rescue team. The rescue, unfortunately, became a body recovery. The weight of his loss was almost too much to bear, and his friend Davis could only watch in shock as he struggled to come to terms with the reality of his situation. Despite the tremendous sadness and grief that filled the air, Davis knew that he had to be strong for his friend, offering words of comfort and reassurance to help him find some measure of peace and solace amidst the chaos. Kate's body was successfully recovered later that evening, bringing a measure of closure to the heartbroken friends and family left behind in the wake of her passing. 2 years later, another incident happened in this cave where 5 Finnish cave divers attempted to traverse the Plura cave system. Following this incident, a diving ban was lifted on March 31, 2014. Check out this video to find out what happened. We would like to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching, take a dive on the like and subscribe buttons and hit the bell icon so you get notified when we come back with another exciting cave diving story.